Hello, I welcome you to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to model column family, and we'll be using this column as our case study. We'll model this column and we'll also make it adjustable so that you'll be able to adjust the height based on your project. At the end of this video, you'll be able to model a column family like this, and after modeling it, you'll be able to adjust it to any height of your choice. Let's say I want to change it to 6000 mm. I can change it without the column breaking. Okay, without wasting your time, let's get started. And I'm going to go to the application menu. I'll hover my cursor, follow this arrow and select family, and let's save our project. Okay, the family I'm going to select is column, and click open, and here we are. The first thing I will do is to save it. Let's save it as a family, and let's give it a name. Let me save it with this column Revit Tutorial. Then on the option, I'll select just one and click save. Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, that is that. Then the next thing I will do is to change the project unit. On the manage tab, I go to project unit. On the length, I'll change it to millimeters and click OK. Click OK again, and that is it. So if you look at this width now, the width of the base is about 800 mm, and the width of the column, if this is 200 mm, 200 mm, and 350. I'm going to go to the height. Let's define the height. Let's try and define the height. Go to front, and I'm going to establish a reference plane. I will establish a reference plane and give it a dimension, and this dimension, we want to make it adjustable. We want to make this the height so that we can always adjust it, and in that case we need to define the base. Let's define the base first. If you look at this now, if you look at the base of this column, this is a window. The base is a little bit above the window sill, and the window sill normally is 600, sometimes 600, sometimes 900. Let's assume that this one is 600 mm from the ground floor, and that means that 600 plus 200, that is 800. It means that this column base is 800 away from the ground floor, and if it is 800 away from ground floor, 800 plus 600, that's about 1.4. So we are going to give it the base 1.4. So let the base be the height of 1400 mm, and that is the base. So I'm going to lock it. So that is going to be static. Then I am going to move this dimension. I'm going to move this one. Let's this one start from here. Okay, so that this is from here to here is the base of the column. Then from here to here is the height, the adjustable height. We can always adjust that particular one. So I'm going to highlight this dimension and create parameter and give it a name as column height and click OK. And if we go to family type now, you will see the name there, column height. Okay, and which means we can always adjust it. Let's, for instance, I want the column height to be 3 meter. I click OK, and you can see it's moving up and down. All right, it's moving up and down. It can always be adjusted. All right, if that is settled, if this is the adjustable height, it means that the capital will be above the adjustable height, because we don't want anything, any design within this adjustable height. If you put any design within this adjustable height, it is going to scatter it when you are adjusting the height. So our capital will be somewhere above the adjustable height. All right, and if you look at the capital is about 400 mm. From here to here is about 400 mm. So I'm going to add a dimension to it and make it something like 400. And I'm going to lock this dimension. All right, then this one is also locked. Then if you look at the width of the column, or do we make it 600 mm? Yeah, let's make it 600 mm. Make it 600 mm. Then this one would be 150, 150, 300. Okay, 150, 150, 300. Let's do that. So we go to family type. The width, we make it 600 exactly. The depth 600 also, and click apply, click OK. And if you go to the floor plan now, you'll see it has changed. Okay, then I am going to create extrusion, select rectangle, and just draw an arbitrary rectangle and align it to this reference plane and lock it at the same time. Lock it, lock that, and finish it. Then the material, name the material as column. Name it as column, and the color should be off-white, and click OK. Click OK again, and let's go to the height. It's going to go all the way to the height, and it's going to start from the column height. Sorry, it's going to go to, that's some no constraint. It's going to go to the column height. This is what will be adjusting. This is the one that will be adjusted, and I'm supposed to lock this one to this. Let me try align. Okay, lock it. Now if you want to test it, you go to family type. If you reduce it to something like 200, will it go to scatter? Okay, it's not scattering, it's moving. All right, then the next thing is, let's try and create our base. Let's create our base. So I go to the lower reference level, and I'm going to add a reference plane. I'm going to add sets of reference plane. Sorry, this is bend. Another reference plane here. And if you look at from this column to the edge of the column base, this is about 100 mm, and this is about 100 mm. So, or let's say this is about 75. That's 150 mm, about 150. So let's make it 150. We add a dimension here, and we'll make it 150, and we are going to lock that. And also add dimension here, make it 150, and lock it. Then add dimension here, make it 150, and lock it. Then add dimension here, make it 150, and lock it. Okay, so I'm going to create the column base now. I go to create and select extrusion, then select rectangle and simply draw, and align it to this, unlock it, align it to this, unlock it, align it to this, unlock it, then align to this, unlock it. Alright, then give it a name as column base, duplicate, name it as column base, and the render appearance, let's select something else. I will select something like masonry brick. Let's select brick, and let's see the brick that will appeal to us. Let's try this one. All right, I think this is not bad. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Click OK, and I think I still need to modify that material. On the pattern, let's select model, no nothing. Okay, let's select this. Okay, let's leave it at that and click OK. Let's finish it. Let's go to the approach view, and I am going to stress that I'm going to log this one to this reference level. And if you look at the gap between here and here, this is about 300 mm. It's about 300 mm. So I'm going to add a reference plane and add a dimension to it. Okay, it's 300, so I'm going to lock that and stress this to unlock it, right? Then what we want to create now is this particular design. We want to create this design, and the simplest tool we can use to create this is sweep. So I'm going to use sweep to create that particular design, and I go to, and the tool I will use is sweep. Let me go to the reference level and create sketch path and select rectangle, and let's go like that. The first thing I will do is to align it to all this reference plane that goes along the column, and make sure you lock it so that it will always remain intact. And I can finish it. Then edit profile. Let's go to the left and make sure you locate this point. That is where you are going to do your sketching. Don't allow your point to be here and do your sketch on this other side. It won't work. So you need to locate where this red point is and do your sketch there. All right. So the first thing you can see there is we have a rectangle that divides it almost into two. That is this particular one. Divide this bit from here to here almost equal. So, and the height look like something like 75 or 100. Let's make it 100 and see, or let's make it 75. Hmm? 100 will be better. Okay, let's make it 100. And I'm going to delete this one. Then you will see that we have almost 2 steps there. I have 2 steps, and you look at it carefully, the steps are curved. So I'm going to make it curve and go to use this arc so that it will be curved, and also curve this point too, and this point also. Now I can use trim to clean it up. and I can have another one here. This one can go straight all the way, maybe till the end of it. We can align this one to the reference level. Now let's close all this. I can allow this one to go inside a little bit. Now I can trim it. Oh, let's look at it. Okay. And let's close all this one up. Alright. And the material can give it something like coping. Let's name it as coping. And it can be white, off-white. Let it be off-white. Click OK. Click OK again. And let's finish that. Now let's see it in 3D. Okay, I think let's look at it in shaded way, in shaded form. Yeah, it look like what we have there. All right. Then the next thing we'll create is the capital, that is the head. And if you look at the head carefully, you see we have two rectangles that are about 75 and they are equal, and below it we have this one. Okay, so I'm going to create something like that. First of all, I will use sweep. I can use sweep to do that. I can also use, I think it's better I use sweep to do that. Let me go to elevation. I'll go to the level, the lower reference level, and I'm going to pick sweep, create and pick sweep and sketch path. Then I pick a rectangle and draw, and I make sure I lock it to all these reference plane, lock them to all this reference plane. All right, now I'm going to edit the profile, and I can select my left elevation, and if I go up like this, I can align this to this reference plane and lock it, align this to this reference plane and also lock that. Okay, then I can stretch this to inside a little bit, and we have a recess somewhere there. Let me align this to this, and this is about 75, so I'm going to make this one about 75, and I need another one, and I can make this one also 75. Okay. Okay, then on the lower end here I have something like curve, and the curve is about 50 mm. The height of the curve is about 50 mm. Okay, so I'm going to add a curve there. I pick a curve like that, and I can take it in a little bit. Or okay, let's do this and see. I'm going to split, remove all these. Now I can clean this place up. Okay, I can pick a rectangle and complete this so that it will be looped, and I can trim this. Let me remove this, and on the material still remain coping, and let's finish it. Let's finish it and see. Let's look at it in 3D. Yes, that is that. Let's look at our okay. This one actually protrude a little bit. Let's go back and work on it. Edit profile. Let's go to left. So I'm going to grab all this one and shift it to the left a little bit, so that that place will be a little bit bigger than the rest parts. And let's finish it and see. Let's look at it in 3D. Yes, that is it. That is that. Okay, I can do something a little bit to close that top. So if I edit the profile now and I go to left and take it this one inside a little bit, so that that hole will be closed, and I finish it. Let's look at it in 3D. That is that. Oh yes. Okay, we're almost done with our column, and at this point let's test it whether it's still adjusting. Let's assume I change the height to something like 4 meters. Will it break? Wow, it doesn't break. It's still going. If I change the height to something like 7 meters, what will happen? 7 meters. It's still going, and this means that you can change this column to any height you want. You can change it to any height of your choice. Wow, that is amazing. Okay, let's go to the front view. Let's go to the front view so that we can make this dents. Want to make this depression that has brick inside it. Okay, so I go to the front, and I'm going to create a set of reference plane. And the reference plane will be about 150 mm, 150 mm from the edges. Okay, now let me add my dimension to it. Add dimension. This will be 150 from here, 150 mm, and ensure you lock it. And from the top should be 150, and lock it. And this particular reference plane, and we make sure that this is locked to this reference plane, and make it 150, and this other side will also be locked to this reference plane and make it 150 and lock it. All right, so it's locked. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select this particular model, this particular one, and okay, no need to select this. What I will do now is I'm going to create a void there. I want to create a void, and I'm going to go to create, and void extrusion is what I'm going to select, and I will simply draw a rectangle. I'll draw a rectangle and ensure that you lock it to these reference planes we have just created before, and go like that. Let's lock it there to this last one and lock it, and the depth, let's finish it and see. Let's look at it in 3D. Let's go to approach view again. That is the void we have just created, and let's create cut geometry, and let's look at it in 3D now. It's supposed to have cut. Okay, if it's not, let me go back and edit it. Okay, or let's go to reference level. If we can see it there, if we cannot see it, I can create a section. Let me create a section here and move the section to the center, then go to sectional view. Okay, I can see it is inside it. This is the void we were trying to create. Let's push it outside, and it's too much inside. Let's push it outside a little bit, and let's cut geometry, and let's see it in 3D now. Yes, that is what I want. It has cut the model now. Okay, if we look at our case study again, If you look at the depth, is about 50 mm. The depth is about 50 mm. So I'm going to go to that section I've created before. I go to this section and I'm going to add a reference plane from top down and add a dimension. Maybe I can make it 75 so that it will accommodate this recess as well as the brick that will be inside the depression. So I'm going to lock it and let this one be locked as well. Then let's create our brick. We go to floor plan. We go to front view and create extrusion, select rectangle and simply draw a rectangle and lock it to all these reference plane we have created before and make sure they are all locked. Okay, and to this one as well, and also lock it to this. Okay, and the material should be, let's rename it, duplicate it as column bricks. And the appearance should look like bricks. So we select masonry brick and let's look for something that look like bricks. Can we try this? Okay, this look like bricks. So we're going to hit apply, click OK, and the depth should be something like 20. The depth should be something like 20. Okay, and let's finish it. And let's go to our section, to this particular section. Okay, you can see that is what we have just created, and I am going to stretch it out so that it will be visible inside the column. Okay, you can see this is the dent and it's visible inside the dent. If you look at it in 3D now, okay, this is that bricks. And let me edit the material. On the surface pattern, I want it to look like bricks, but here we don't have bricks. I'm going to bring in bricks. Okay, this is it. Okay, or let's use render appearance. Let's use render appearance so that at least it's better. Now this is it. I can load it into a project now. You can load it into this project. Now let's assume I want to remove this and replace it with that one. I go to my ground floor plan of level 1. This is that column. Okay, then I go to approach view. If I need to let it start from level 1, apply. Okay, then I need the head to start from here. So the current height, let's look at the current height. If you look at the current height, let's measure it. So whatever the height is, now we are going to subtract 4,600 away from it. So if I select it now, I go to edit, and the height is currently 7,000. 7,000 minus 4,600, that is 2,400. So we are going to reduce the height to 2,400 and click apply. Click OK, and that is it. So at this point I can move it back. Okay, now let's look at it in 3D. That is exactly the column we want, and this column you can use it anywhere you want to use it. You can change the height at will. Okay, you can change the height at will. All right, let's see how we can modify this. I want this to look like bricks, because when we were working on before, there's no brick material there. Let's see whether we have some bricks material here. Let me just pick a wall. And try to change the material, and I want to create bricks. Okay, then let me edit. And let me look at the list of material we have here. Column bricks should be here now, because since I've loaded the family here, it should come along with its own material. So we are looking for column bricks. Okay, this is column bricks is here. All right, so if I want to edit it now and change it to on the model, in this model we have bricks now. Let me select this particular one and click OK, then click OK. You can see it has changed. Okay, and this one is column base. So if I select another wall, let's say I select another wall, and for this particular one I'm going to duplicate it and name it as column base. And edit. Then let me look for column base. This is column base, and I select it. I want it to look like bricks. Select model and select this one also, and click OK. Click OK again, and click OK. Click OK, and here, yeah, this is looking like bricks now. So with this done now, I can remove all this one. I only use this to change this material. So that is how you can create column family that can be adjusted anywhere in the world. Let's assume I want to adjust the width a little bit. I select it. I want to make it bigger. It's a question of selecting it and edit type. Then on the width, I can change it to 700. Then the depth 700, and click apply. You can see that is that. Let's look at it in 3D. As if something has broken. Okay. Let me undo it. Something needs to be locked. The depth needs to be locked. Now let me edit the depth. Allow the depth to remain at 600, and let's see. Okay, I cannot see where the fault is coming from. It's not properly locked. Let's go and lock it. If we go to this section, and this is what we are talking about. This particular, I need to add another reference plane so that the depth, it doesn't matter the width, the depth should remain constant. The depth should be always be 50 mm. So let's lock that place to be always 50 mm. So let me move it inside a little bit and add dimension to it. I'll add dimension and make it 50 mm and lock that dimension so that it doesn't matter the depth, the brick should always show. So let me lock the bricks to this reference plane, and let's also lock this dimension. Okay, over constraining the sketch. Okay, let's load it into project and see. Override existing one. Okay, thank you for watching the video, and see you in the next video. If this video has helped you, don't forget to give me a video testimonial. I will really appreciate that. All right, see you in the next video. Bye.